You're listening to the Up and Under podcast, starting in 3, 2, 1.
With that being said, we're going to start off with our first trade that we want to talk about. And this was a trade that, honestly, I don't think we expected this to happen, at least not to this team.
There were rumors about this player. We're talking about Nikola Vucevic, if you don't know. There were rumors about Nikola Vucevic going to this team, going to that team. We talked about him in some of our episodes previously. But yeah, this one, I think this trade and the Chicago Bulls, I think, came out of left field for everyone. Nobody expected it.
Yeah, nobody expected this trade to happen. But basically, the trade involved the Chicago Bulls and the Orlando Magic. In this trade, the Chicago Bulls got Nikola Vucevic and Al-Farouq Aminu. The Magic, in exchange, got Wendell Carter Jr., Otto Porter Jr., a 2021 first-round pick, which is top 4 protected, and a 2023 first-round pick, also top 4 protected. So from the perspective of the Bulls, obviously, I mean, getting Nikola Vucevic is a huge move for them, especially, from the position that they were, being a rebuilding franchise, having Zach LaVine become an all-star, growing with this young core, spearheaded by Billy Donovan. The fact that the Bulls manager was like, listen, we want to make a move and get a quality big on this roster says a lot about the direction that Arturas Karnisovas is trying to take this team. He's not trying to play around. He's not trying to, let this winning or this success kind of come and pass by.
Delay the process of it, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So he wanted to be like, hey, we're winning now. We're building momentum. Let's get a player to help us get even better. And Nikola Vucevic definitely helps do that. I think he fits a lot of what they're trying to do. He can obviously put up points. A good thing is he can play with Zach LaVine, Lauri Markkanen, and Kobe White, because they can all spread the floor. And even Vucevic can kind of spread the floor a bit. And Vuce can kind of be that rebounder, that interior presence that the Bulls really haven't had in quite some time, since I believe either Taj Gibson or Joakim Noah, if I have to be.
I mean, yeah, like those two pretty much, right?
Yeah.
They haven't had that for a while.
Yeah, but I think the Bulls overall just got they got the best player in the deal, man. And I think this was an out of nowhere trade, man. But I think it was a very good one for the Bulls. Now they did have to give up some, a nice young player in Wendell Carter Jr. and a couple of picks, but if it meant that you can start winning more games and potentially make a playoff push either this season with the plan or even next year, it's a pretty good gamble to take if I'm Arturas Karnisovas.
Yeah, man, like the Bulls got the best player on the day, right? Like of today, they got the best player. And to your point, what you're saying, like he fits in very well with them. He can work off of Kobe White, and Zach LaVine, pick and rolls, pick and pops. Nikola Vucevic can spread the floor. They can literally go 5 out without sacrificing any size, because Lauri Markkanen and Nikola Vucevic can both shoot the 3. And Nikola Vucevic has established himself as one of the best offensive big men in the league by far. Yeah. So for the Bulls to be able to get a quality player like that to help propel them into the playoffs, and especially given the fact that, after the top 4, right? Everyone else in the Eastern Conference is kind of at the same level. Yeah. The Chicago Bulls now with 2 bona fide all-stars in Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic give themselves a great chance against everyone else not named, Brooklyn or Milwaukee or Miami, right? So this was a very great trade for the Bulls. From the perspective of the Magic, obviously, we're going to talk about the Magic a bit more after this trade. Fire sale, for sure. The Orlando Magic committed fully to this rebuild, even though they've kind of been rebuilding for the last 9 years since Dwight Howard. Even before that, to be honest, they were terrible in Dwight's last year, right? So it just shows you that even though people always want to tank, quote unquote, tanking for the most part doesn't actually end up working. You see teams like Sacramento, Orlando, Minnesota who are perpetually tanking, they're in the tanking position, but they never get better. And there's a reason for that, right? Winning builds habits. Yeah. We see that firsthand in Toronto, San Antonio, other great, franchises. Winning builds habits. if you're never winning, you're not going to be able to build habits, and you're never going to be able to actually develop anybody. And Orlando has kind of been this team since Dwight Howard left them. So for them at this stage, there was no other choice except to just initiate a full rebuild again. They were not going anywhere. Max they would get would be, they would top out as an 8 seed in the Eastern Conference.
Not this season.
Not this season.
With all the injuries?
Exactly. So they were going nowhere, and it makes sense for them to just fire sale everyone. Nikola Vucevic, this was pretty much they got 2 picks out of it, which is great for them. So they have more draft capital at this point. And then they also got Wendell Carter Jr., who, though he kind of plateaued a bit over, the last couple of seasons, there was a lot of promise for him in his rookie season. I think just, the shuffle of Chicago and the situation for him, I don't think was the most ideal. Also, Jim Boylan was there, so it was Jim Boylan. So, him going to a new situation now, is a great fresh start for him. He can develop alongside guys like Markelle Fultz and Jonathan Isaac whenever they do come back, hopefully. So he's in a new situation for himself, and he can hopefully get better. And then Otto Porter Jr. is a decent salary filler, and also a role player. A decent role player.
Yeah.
So I think from the Magic's point of view, I'm not gonna say it was a good trade for them because they lost an all-star big man, but it's kind of what they had to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's better that they got something for Nikola Vucevic rather than nothing. And again, now you can focus on the rebuild, and now that they've committed to it, it really helps them establish a direction that way.
Moving on to actually, do you want to say who won the trade?
I think the Bulls obviously won the trade. I mean, the Bulls clearly got the best player in the deal, so there's no surprise that the Bulls won the trade, but I think it was a pretty even trade for the most part. I mean, it's not the most value you could get for Nikola Vucevic, but it's definitely value nonetheless.
Yeah, exactly.